You're watching Series Drift, and we just got a massive update on the future of the Descendants, the Rise of Red universe. But this isn't just another sequel announcement. According to the latest rumors and early production details, Disney may already be preparing the next phase of the Descendants franchise, and honestly, it could completely change the fate of Auradon forever. Because after everything that happened in Rise of Red, the timeline itself may already be breaking apart. And now Disney is reportedly moving forward with a brand new sequel currently being referred to as Descendants, Wicked Wonderland. If the newest insider reports are accurate, this could easily become the darkest and most ambitious Descendants movie the franchise has ever attempted. Following the success of Rise of Red, Disney is reportedly fast-tracking development on the next movie with Kylie Cantrell expected to return as Red alongside Malia Baker as Chloe Charming. Their chemistry became one of the strongest parts of the last film, and now it looks like Disney is building the future of the franchise around them. But unlike the previous movie, which balanced comedy, music, and adventure, Wicked Wonderland is rumored to take a much darker direction. Because Wonderland itself may no longer be stable after the timeline changes from Rise of Red. That's the detail most fans are overlooking right now. At the end of the previous movie, Red and Chloe changed the timeline to stop the Queen of Hearts from becoming the ruthless villain she was destined to become. At first, it seemed like they succeeded. The future improved. Auradon looked safer. But throughout the movie, there were constant warnings about one important thing: changing time always creates consequences. And according to the latest rumors, those consequences are finally arriving. Multiple insider discussions suggest Wonderland has started physically changing after the timeline was altered. Entire sections of the kingdom are reportedly transforming into distorted versions of themselves. Familiar places are becoming unstable. Characters may remember events differently. Some people could even exist in multiple versions at the same time. And honestly, if that's true, Disney may be quietly introducing multiverse-style storytelling into the Descendants franchise. Which completely changes everything. Because suddenly this isn't just a fantasy musical anymore. Now it becomes a story about fractured realities, unstable timelines, and characters trapped between different versions of history. And if Wonderland is truly collapsing because of what Red and Chloe did, then the next movie could force them to face a terrifying possibility. What if saving the future accidentally destroyed it? That alone would make Wicked Wonderland far darker than any previous Descendants movie. But things get even crazier with the introduction of a brand new character named Pink. According to early reports, Pink is another daughter of the Queen of Hearts, but unlike Red, she may not support the decision to change the timeline at all. In fact, rumors suggest Pink believes Wonderland became corrupted specifically because Red interfered with destiny. That instantly makes her one of the most dangerous rivals the VKs have ever faced because her motivations aren't simple revenge or power. She genuinely believes she's trying to save reality itself. And honestly, that makes her much more dangerous than a traditional Disney villain. Think about it for a second. If Pink grew up in an alternate version of Wonderland created by the timeline changes, then from her perspective, Red may actually be responsible for destroying her world. That creates a morally complicated conflict where neither side fully understands the consequences of their actions. And if Disney fully commits to that idea, Wicked Wonderland could become much more emotionally complex than previous Descendants movies. Because this time, there may not be a clear hero or villain. But Pink isn't the only major addition reportedly joining the franchise. According to multiple leaks and fan discussions, Disney is also expanding the Descendants universe by introducing characters connected to entirely different Disney worlds. Rumored additions include Descendants tied to Encanto, Neverland, and possibly even brand new Wonderland characters we've never seen before. And honestly, this may be the biggest clue about Disney's long-term plans for the franchise. For years, Descendants mainly focused on classic Disney villains and fairy tale kingdoms. But now the series appears to be evolving into a much larger connected universe involving multiple Disney worlds existing at the same time. That means future movies could potentially bring together descendants from dozens of different Disney franchises. Imagine Descendants connected to Neverland interacting with VKs from Wonderland while magical timeline distortions begin affecting every kingdom across Auradon. That would completely transform the scale of the series. And honestly, Disney may already be building towards something massive behind the scenes.
Because once you introduce broken timelines into a fantasy universe, almost anything becomes possible. Alternate realities. Different versions of familiar characters. Villains returning unexpectedly. Entire kingdoms disappearing from existence. The storytelling possibilities suddenly become enormous. And fans think the next movie may already be teasing one of the darkest consequences imaginable. Someone important may have disappeared from the timeline completely. That warning from Rise of Red suddenly feels far more important now. The movie repeatedly hinted that changing the past comes with a cost, but we never actually saw the full consequences happen yet. According to growing fan theories, Wicked Wonderland may reveal that altering the timeline erased certain characters entirely. And honestly, that possibility is terrifying. Because if Red and Chloe accidentally removed someone important from existence, then fixing Wonderland may require undoing everything they accomplished in the previous movie. Imagine realizing the happy ending actually caused reality itself to start collapsing. Imagine discovering that memories, friendships, or entire families no longer exist the way they're supposed to. That's much darker than anything Descendants has explored before, but it also makes the franchise feel more mature. And that may be exactly what Disney wants. The original Descendants movies focused heavily on identity, friendship, and escaping family expectations. Rise of Red introduced the idea that actions can affect entire generations. Wicked Wonderland appears ready to push that concept even further by exploring destiny, sacrifice, and whether changing fate is ever truly possible. And honestly, Wonderland feels like the perfect setting for that kind of story. In Disney lore, Wonderland has always been unpredictable, surreal, and unstable. But now imagine that world becoming even more dangerous because time itself is malfunctioning. Characters could become trapped in repeating loops. Entire locations may constantly shift and change. Some people may remember alternate versions of history while others don't. If the rumors are accurate, Disney is reportedly leaning heavily into darker visuals, twisted Wonderland imagery, and more emotional musical sequences than ever before. But there's another detail fans seriously aren't talking about enough right now, the possibility of a larger Disney-connected universe. Because once Descendants starts introducing characters from Encanto, Neverland, Wonderland, and other Disney properties together, the franchise stops feeling like a simple sequel series and starts feeling like Disney's version of a fantasy crossover universe. And if that happens, future films could become much bigger than anyone expected. Imagine descendants from multiple magical worlds being forced to work together to stop reality from collapsing across the Disney universe itself. That would be absolutely insane. And honestly, the success of Rise of Red proved there's still huge interest in this franchise. Fans connected strongly with Red and Chloe, the soundtrack performed incredibly well online, and Disney clearly sees potential for future expansions. That's why Wicked Wonderland feels so important. This movie may determine whether Descendants remains a nostalgic Disney franchise or evolves into something much larger and more ambitious. According to current speculation, Descendants, Wicked Wonderland is expected to release sometime in 2026, although Disney Plus has not officially confirmed the exact release date yet. Production rumors suggest filming could begin later this year, with casting announcements potentially arriving much sooner than fans expect. And honestly, if even half these rumors turn out to be true, this could easily become the most ambitious Descendants movie ever made. Because now the stakes are no longer just about Auradon. They're about reality itself. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Red and Chloe accidentally broke the timeline? Could Pink become the most dangerous Descendants villain yet? And which Disney worlds do you want to see connected to the franchise next? Drop all your theories in the comments because I'll be reading every single one. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Series Drift, and turn on notifications because we'll be covering every casting update, hidden detail, soundtrack reveal, and future rumor connected to Descendants, Wicked Wonderland right here on the channel. Because on Series Drift, stories shift, details matter, and every hidden clue changes everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.